So Stalker 2 has been out for 4 days now. It's come out on the Xbox Game Pass, so you can play it there if you have Game Pass for free, or you can purchase it on Steam. It's not out on PlayStation 5 as of yet. I don't know if it is, but I hope it does eventually as they release the other Stalker games on PlayStation, so it makes sense. And I've been playing the Steam version of the game, and I've been having a good time with the game. However, I'll cut right to the chase. Is the game worth picking up? Not yet. And that is mainly due to the performance issues. There are performance issues. If you go yourself to Steam or you go yourself to any reviews and stuff, they will say that for the most part, the game is really good. It's Stalker. You're out in a radioactive wasteland and you've got to do story missions and side quests, of which there are loads. It also does have a quite engaging story with characters. It gives you choices as well within the missions, so you can choose to just straight up kill people or work for them and do things for them. There's quite a lot of different enemies and mutants and all that kind of stuff. Some of them are a little bullet spongy, as you'll see in this footage. There's like some warthogs and some mutated warthogs or cow things or whatever the hell they are, and they just absorb your bullets, which is really annoying. Guns can jam and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool and adds to the immersion. I think the cost for repairs on your equipment is really high, and that definitely needs to be brought down because it is a bit annoying. But that aside, the game, I mean, unfortunately, I'm having to run it on mid settings. I should be able to run it with a mix of mainly high and then some mid, but I just can't. If I put it up any higher, it's just going to be horrific, especially to capture footage. I wanted to get the best frame rates I could. If I have everything turned up to what I should be able to play it at, I'm getting 50 frames per second, which is not the end of the world, but still, I should be able to run it higher than that. And the frames do drop anyway when you're inside of settlements as well and that kind of stuff, which is a bit confusing. The vast majority of the fan base that played and loved the original Stalker games are unfortunately making it very difficult to get a understanding of the game's position, because it took a lot of fiddling with the settings to get this game to run sort of sensibly. Now, I've had no crashes over the last 4 days, and I haven't seen that many bugs. I've seen a couple of bugs here and there, but nothing on the level of Cyberpunk at Cyberpunk's launch. It's just unfortunate that the performance is just suffering so much, because without that, it's a pretty cool game. It's really good. It's very immersive. It goes day and night and different weather and all that kind of stuff. Your character has to eat and sleep, and you have to make sure that if you're bleeding, you have bandages to bandage that up, and you have to obviously stay out of radiation. If you played Fallout, you kind of know what you're doing. Now, the story is it's not linear. You can sort of go your own path and choose your own way to go through it. And apparently there is a multiplayer mode that's coming out with a free update, so you'll be able to play with a friend, which is pretty cool. But for the most part at the minute, it is single player. And unfortunately, even though on Steam it is $49.99, which is less than most of the games that are released these days because they're all 70 quid, unfortunately, I cannot recommend people grabbing this, because if you have an absolute mega machine, yeah, you will then probably be able to run this game. You'll still have performance issues. Even people with mega machines are having performance issues, but they won't be as gnarly as people with mid-range systems, mid to high-range systems like my own. And it's just terribly optimized, and that's just unfortunately the way it is, and I hope they patch that really soon. But the developers, GSE Game World, they are a Ukrainian company, and of course we all know at the moment how difficult it must be for them to be doing anything with this, considering what's going on over there. So I wouldn't hold my breath for any fast updates to the game. I'm hoping so. It definitely needs some performance patches, but at this present moment, Stalker 2 has a ton of potential, and behind the performance issues, there is a really good immersive survival first-person shooter with a lot to find and see and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part at the minute, it's just marred, and it's unfortunate. But please let me know down below if you've checked out Stalker 2. I've played a handful of hours of the original Stalker games back in the day. I've owned them for years, but I've never really delved into them. But I will with Stalker 2. I will stick with it, and I will power through this one. But
Yeah, it's just such a shame that it's not just Stalker 2. There's a lot of games that are marred with performance issues, but I personally think you should hang fire. If you have Game Pass on PC, then I'd suggest you play it on that. Or if you have an Xbox Series X or S, then I suggest you play it on that instead. One of my brothers is playing it on Xbox Series X, and he said that it's not too bad on Xbox Series X, which is good. He said there are still frame drops and stuff on performance mode, but it's a lot more stable than the PC version. So let me know what you guys think down below, and as always, thank you very much for watching.
So clumsy. Give me a hand here, Alexei.
Leave the glasses, Nina. They'll just break anyway.
Somebody's going to steal it.
We'll put it in a rickshaw, where the icon is.